Good evening and welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6.
Eagle Eye TV has done a great job.
And welcome to Eagle Eye News at 6.
We are just having a great time here in Auburn, Alabama. The party is not over yet.
Eagle Eye TV, Auburn's news leader.
Good evening
and welcome to Eagle Eye News.
And I'm Allison Thomas. Thank you for joining us.
This morning, an issue with Amazon Web Services' cloud computing services caused mass outages across the internet. Among some of the services affected are Canvas and AU Access, which has impacted many students' ability to complete classwork. Some of the other companies reporting outages due to the technical difficulties are Amazon, Snapchat, Delta, Venmo, Coinbase, and Signal. Eagle Eye reached out to Auburn University for a statement about the outages and received the following statement detailing which services are unavailable. An outage this extreme is estimated to cost in the billions, according to experts. Last year, Amazon Web Services generated $107.6 billion in revenue and made up about 37% of the global cloud market share, according to market research firm Gartner.
Last month, several businesses in downtown Opelika were vandalized with spray paint. Recently, an arrest has been made in the case. Eagle Eye's Ella Grace Simmons went to Opelika and tells us more about the situation.
We're here in downtown Opelika, where Opelika police responded to reports of vandalism in the area around 4:30 in the morning on Sunday, September 28th.
In the early hours of the morning on Sunday, September 28th, the Opelika Police Department responded to a call regarding reports of graffiti in downtown Opelika. Local surveillance footage shows 3 men and 1 woman in a white sedan, an orange sedan, and a blue pickup truck committing this act of vandalism between 2:30 and 4:30 in the morning. The Opelika Police Department has confirmed a suspect is in custody in relation to the crime, which caused around $2,500 in damage. The damage primarily targeted a locally owned business in the downtown area. The owner of the property declined an interview out of fear of retaliation. This incident has left some business owners in the area uneasy, while others are still unaware the incident happened. We spoke to the Lee County Sheriff about the incident, and he said, quote, "As a result of the incident, we are adding additional patrols to prevent this type of activity," end quote. These patrols include increased police presence in the downtown area, especially during late night and early morning hours. The lack of public awareness of this case remains striking, as most Opelika residents and business owners were unaware of the crime until asked about it. As cleanup and repairs continue, local officials hope that heightened patrols will help prevent similar incidents in the future.
For more information, you can visit our website at eagleeyeauburn.com. For Eagle Eye News at 6, I'm Ella Grace Simmons.
The Opelika Police Department is asking anyone who has information on the case to reach out at 334-745-8665.
Each year, the Auburn Student Government Association hosts Hay Day to promote friendliness, inclusion, and connection across campus. The event encourages students, faculty, and staff to wear name tags and greet one another throughout the day, continuing a tradition that has united the Auburn family for decades. Hay Day began in 1947 following World War II, when Auburn students wanted to create a stronger sense of community for veterans returning to campus. The Student Government Association initiated the event to help break down social barriers and remind everyone that a simple hey can go a long way in making people feel welcome. Over the years, the tradition has grown into one of Auburn's most celebrated annual events. This year's event featured live music, free food, and tables from student organizations across campus. Students could grab a name tag, meet new people, and take a break from their busy schedules to just enjoy being part of the Auburn family. Many students say Hay Day helps them feel more comfortable and connected on campus, especially new students or transfer students experiencing Auburn for the first time. While the event has evolved over time, its purpose remains the same, to strengthen the Auburn community through kindness and connection.
For us, I think Hay Day means just like having a sense of belonging on campus.
And being able to like talk to everyone and just meet a lot of new friends.
Yeah. My favorite part about Hay Day, for us, I think Hay Day means just like having a sense of belonging on campus.
And being able to like talk to everyone and just meet a lot of new friends.
Yeah. My favorite part about Hay Day is just getting to like meet new people, and obviously the pep rally was super fun.
Yeah, I'd say the pep rally, it looked really fun.
Yeah, all the cheerleaders out there, and it was really super sweet.
All the pretzels and games and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it just allows everyone to kind of just talk to each other and like maybe start a conversation or something. It builds a lot of community, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's super sweet. Like, some people have never like heard their name around campus or something, so it's just super kind and supportive to kind of just bring together the Auburn family in that way. And everybody feels loved.
Exactly.
The hearing for the man accused of murdering a former Auburn University veterinarian teacher took place last week. Eagle Eye's Jonny Koeninger attended the hearing and has an update on the case.
Last Wednesday, October 15th, the preliminary hearing for Harold Rashad Dabney III was held. Dabney is the accused murderer of former Auburn professor Dr. Julie Gard Schnelly. Dabney, accompanied by his court-appointed attorneys Artie Vaughn and Andrew Stanley, did not speak before Judge Jeff Tickle. Though the case is still in its early stages, the evidence against Dabney is damning. Auburn Police Detective Taylor Clark, the sole witness in the hearing, explained that surveillance footage from around 9:38 a.m. Saturday, September 6, showed Schnelly arrive in her red Ford F-150 with her dog. Later at 1:54 p.m. the same day, Schnelly's body was found in the southwest section of the park, with her visor and dog leash soaked in blood about 15 yards away from her body. She died due to 7 stab wounds in her neck, forearm, right hand, and chest. A man presumed to be Dabney was caught on CCTV using a key fob to find and steal Schnelly's truck at 10:39 a.m. Around 5 p.m., Briggs and Stratton's surveillance footage spotted the same man walking towards St. Matthew's Baptist Church on Beehive Road. The following morning at St. Matthew's Baptist Church, Dabney was apprehended by the police. They searched him and found Dr. Schnelly's credit card in the crotch area of his underwear, according to Detective Clark. Clark further noted that investigators interviewed witnesses who saw the man believed to be Dabney on September 6. One witness identified Dabney out of a lineup of 6 people. And with that, Judge Tickle determined that there was enough evidence to move the case to a Lee County grand jury. He found probable cause for all offenses: capital murder during robbery and capital murder during a kidnapping. Dabney gestured a peace sign to his family as he exited the courtroom. For Eagle Eye News at 6, I'm Jonny Koeninger.
For more updates on this case, keep an eye on our website and social media pages.
Parking in downtown Auburn just got 11 times easier. The City of Auburn has added 11 new on-street parking spaces on Gay Street between Magnolia and Titchener Avenues. Parking is $1 an hour for up to 2 hours on Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The new spots aim to reduce traffic downtown, but some people don't think that this is enough.
I think they'll be effective, especially for like this side of town, but I don't think that it'll be super effective for the students looking for spots on campus, and it's not even that close to downtown, so I feel like in order to get people to have more parking spots, we may need a bigger parking garage.
For more information about downtown parking, you can visit the City of Auburn's website. When we come back, you'll get a weather update from Eagle Eye's Gavin Dimit. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6, and here's our weather outlook for this week on the plains. 'Tis the season to be spooked. If you haven't been shivering in fear already, this weather will certainly do the trick. Tuesday to Friday, you will feel the cold morning breeze, so make sure to button up on your way to class. We are seeing highs in the mid to high 70s and lows in the high 40s to low 50s. Tomorrow, expect cloudy skies with a high of 79 and a low of 49. On Wednesday, the sun returns with a high of 73 and a low of 51. On Thursday, there will be a few clouds in the sky with a high of 77 and a low of 46. Finally, on Friday, expect it to be partially cloudy again with a high of 77 and a low of 49. This weekend is not looking much different either. On Saturday, expect little to no sun with a high of 75 and a low of 52. On Sunday, expect the same with a high of 74 and a low of 57. And that's all for your weather update for your week on the plains. Hopefully the weather this week won't make you scream. Hold on, we'll be right back with Allison and Jonny for your national news update. I'm Gavin Dimit. Thank you for watching, and War Eagle.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. More than 2,500 anti-Trump protest dubbed No Kings rallies were slated to be held in communities across the country Saturday. These protests come as immigration and customs enforcement ramp up arrests to crack down on illegal immigration, as well as the Trump administration sending in the National Guard to Democratic cities, which many protesters say is government overreach. Jen Sullivan reports.
Thousands of protesters gathering in cities across the U.S. Saturday to protest the Trump administration's policies that they claim are authoritarian.
I want all of America to realize that the Declaration of Independence was about no kings, about our personal liberties, about free press. It's very powerful to be here right now.
The demonstrations were dubbed No Kings protests. Marches happening against the backdrop of a government shutdown and tensions over immigration raids to crack down on illegal immigration. ICE raids in Chicago leading to weeks of protests, including this outside an ICE detention center Friday in Broadview, Illinois.
We have masked goons roaming the streets, hiding their faces, abducting people.
It's un-American, you know what I mean? It's just straight up anti-American.
Protesters say they are also frustrated by recent National Guard troops being deployed to Democratic-led cities despite local leaders pushing back. The Trump administration says the move is to help fight rising crime and protect federal personnel and property.
I believe it to be unlawful and unconstitutional. There is not a rebellion going on.
In June, similar rallies were held in cities across the country. Saturday's events, though, were even larger, with roughly 2,500 protests held coast to coast. Many Republican leaders condemning the rallies.
We refer to it by its more accurate description, the Hate America rally. You're going to bring together the Marxists, the socialists, the Antifa advocates, the anarchists, and the pro-Hamas wing of the far-left Democrat Party. That is the modern Democratic Party.
I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Earlier this summer, a small No Kings protest was held in Auburn, where protesters converged on the Moores Mill overpass and spread their message to cars passing on the interstate below.
French authorities are trying to track down the thieves who stole several pieces of jewelry at the Louvre in Paris over the weekend. To clear just how many items were stolen, officials say 2 pieces were recovered: the crown of Empress Eugenie, wife of Napoleon III, and a second piece of jewelry authorities have yet to identify. Jen Sullivan has details on the brazen break-in.
An elaborate robbery and jewelry heist in broad daylight at one of the most famous museums in the world. French authorities say thieves stole priceless jewelry from the Louvre in Paris Sunday.
It does appear that these were extremely well-trained robbers. They planned this meticulously, obviously.
The break-in happened in the museum's Apollo Gallery, which houses the French crown jewels as well as treasures, including Louis XIV's hardstone vessel collection. The thieves raiding the gallery in just 7 minutes at around 9:30 local time Sunday morning, just 30 minutes after the museum opened. Officials have not yet released full details on the stolen items or what they're worth. The Louvre is the largest art museum in the world, spanning more than 750,000 square feet. The Apollo Gallery is located on the first floor, not far from where the Mona Lisa is hanging. Officials say the thieves entered the museum from the outside using an external freight elevator that was on a truck, then forced open a window to get in. They then fled on motorcycles.
Nobody knew what happened. Like we heard the sounds and we didn't have no clue that it was a robbery.
The Louvre is the most visited museum in the world, welcoming more than 8.5 million visitors last year. Following the break-in, museum officials ushering out visitors and evacuating the building. The Louvre now closed.
It's a pity, but I think that when it is this is so exceptional, I think they can't do anything about it.
It takes a while to get the tickets to get in here, so it's a little disappointing.
I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
The last time there was a robbery at the Louvre was in 1911 when the Mona Lisa was stolen.
3 people were hospitalized after a shooting early Sunday morning at the Oklahoma State University campus in Stillwater. Police say it happened in a campus dormitory, and at least one of the victims is an OSU student. It was homecoming weekend with many alumni and family. Campus police say there was a large private party off campus Saturday night, and after the party, a group came back to the dorm where the shooting took place. So far, no suspects have been identified, but police say there is no ongoing threat to public safety. When we return, you'll get a political update with Tessa Allen on Eye on the Hill. You're watching Eagle Eye News at 6.
Good evening and welcome to Eye on the Hill. I'm Tessa Allen, here to give you the latest political updates. On Saturday, No Kings protests emerged around the United States, demonstrating against President Donald Trump. Around 7 million people have taken to major cities across the 50 states, including Austin, Chicago, and Boston. Here's Ted Wayman with reports on the Boston No King protest.
Take a walk through a sea of people on Boston Common, and they'll tell you why they came to the No Kings rally.
Why wouldn't we be here? You know, we don't need fascism, we don't need a king. We rejected a king in 1773 when we threw tea into the harbor. Why would we want one now?
Near the main stage, some pro-Palestinian protesters tried to drown out Mayor Wu's kickoff speech, but were shouted down by the crowd and kept under control by Boston police. At No Kings, there is plenty of political theater, most here to push back against what they consider to be an overreach by the Trump administration, many calling for the end of ICE. John Mays traveled from North Carolina.
A lot of people and a lot of, I guess you could say, love going on here.
100 No King rallies are organized across the Bay State for Saturday. Eric Jackson lives in Billerica, but wanted to be on the Common.
We had a choice between here and our hometown, and we wanted to be among the people. People in numbers have power.
Jesus Christ is king. Donald Trump is the president.
Some Trump supporters did show up near the No Kings rally, but no major counter demonstrations.
So many that walked away from the Democratic Party, and I'm out here every day just celebrating being born and raised in Massachusetts, and I love my president.
On the other side of the Common, dozens of booths set up to help people sign up for future rallies. Organizers say Saturday's event will fight against what they call rising authoritarianism in the federal government.
People want change, they can show up and show that they want change and affect that.
A great number of Harvard affiliates and college students participated in the Boston No Kings protest. College students from other universities such as Penn State and Princeton are also demonstrating against the Trump administration. It is currently day 10 of the Gaza ceasefire, and humanitarian aid is working its way into Gaza. While many have felt relief, the conflict isn't completely over. The truce between Hamas and Israel is holding, but the ceasefire is off to a strenuous start. Each side has already accused the other of violating the ceasefire agreement. Here's CNN's Jerry Diamond with more from Jerusalem.
Yesterday we saw as 2 Israeli soldiers were killed in what Israel says was a Hamas attack. And then we saw a wave of airstrikes that the Israeli military carried out across Gaza. This was the biggest test of this ceasefire to date, just 9 days into this ceasefire. And so today, on the 10th day of this ceasefire, things seem calm once again, but no doubt more fragile than ever. And so enter into the picture the 2 men who brokered this agreement in the first place, President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and the U.S. Special Envoy, Steve Witkoff, both of them sitting down with the Israeli Prime Minister for a critical meeting to not only talk about maintaining this ceasefire right now, maintaining the flow of aid into Gaza, ensuring that there are no more incidents of fire between the 2 sides going forward, but also, of course, talking about the critical next steps ahead, because it's important to remember, even as these, the United States is trying to make sure that the current ceasefire stays into place, there is a lot more work to be done to ensure that it actually results in the end of the war in Gaza that President Trump has said that this ceasefire actually represents. You know, there's negotiations over Hamas handing over power to a transitional authority, the creation of this international stabilization force that would go into Gaza, take over territory from both Hamas and the Israeli military, and ultimately seeing the Israeli military withdraw from Gaza altogether. For now, we know that yesterday was a very deadly day in Gaza. Initially, it started on Sunday morning with this incident in which 2 Israeli soldiers were killed in what the Israeli military said was an RPG and sniper fire attack on their position beyond the yellow line, meaning behind the lines to which Israeli troops have withdrawn. Following that, the Israeli Prime Minister authorizing a heavy price response. That was how it was termed on Hamas, with a series of airstrikes across southern, central, and northern Gaza that killed at least 45 Palestinians. Aid seems to be flowing back into Gaza today, but once again, a very tenuous moment in this region. And of course, all of this ahead of a visit planned by the Vice President, J.D. Vance, to Israel later this week.
Both Hamas and IDF accuse one another of breaking the truce, which has caused anxiety on the ability for the ceasefire to be withheld. Although Israel sent strikes to Gaza yesterday, President Trump still says the agreement is not broken. Let's take a look at what the President Donald Trump has to say about the recent strike.
We want to make sure that it's going to be very peaceful with Hamas, and as you know, they've been quite rambunctious. They've been doing some shooting, and we think maybe the leadership isn't involved in that. You know, some rebels within, but either way, it's going to be handled properly. It's going to be handled toughly, but properly.
Is the ceasefire still in place?
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Though President Trump says the agreement is still being withheld, doubts are splurging among nations as more violence is erupting despite Trump's 20-point plan. On October 9th, President Trump shared his 20-point plan to end the Israel-Palestine conflict in Gaza. Citizens are arguing that Trump's new plan favors Israel over Palestine, while others say that Trump's plan covers humanitarian aid to Gaza and the withdrawal of Israel from Gaza completely. Trump's 20 points plan has been brought up in the ceasefire deal because of the recent violence that occurred Sunday. The question many are asking is, will the ceasefire hold with President Trump's plan, and are his points strong enough to end the conflict? Protests are happening across the United States, so continue to stay informed on the Israel-Palestine conflict and what's to come on the ceasefire. And that is all I have for you tonight. When we come back, you'll get more national updates from Allison and Jonny at the desk. I'm Tessa Allen with Eye on the Hill, and you're watching Eagle Eye News at 6. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Eagle Eye News at 6. Apple, building off the success of this summer's F1 movie, is announcing that they've reached a deal with Formula One to begin streaming races in the United States starting in 2026. The 5-year exclusive partnership is worth nearly $750 million. Starting in 2026, all F1 sport races will be streaming on Apple TV in the U.S. According to reports, Apple TV will offer Formula One practice, sprint sessions, and Grand Prix races to U.S. subscribers. The new deal comes after months of negotiations. Apple says it plans to announce additional information in the next few months.
As artificial intelligence continues to grow, so do the concerns around safety, particularly for minors. This week, California passed first-of-its-kind legislation in the nation to regulate AI services called chatbots. Maribel Gonzalez is in Los Angeles with testimony from one mother who says more safeguards could have helped prevent the death of her son.
Megan Garcia says her 14-year-old son, Saul Setzer III, loved to make people laugh.
He was handy with a quick joke, for sure.
But in 2023, she noticed a change.
He was more withdrawn, isolating himself in his bedroom, and he wasn't opening up. In February of 2024, he took his own life in our home.
The Florida mother believed an AI chatbot was to blame.
He had been engaging with an AI chatbot over numerous months, and those conversations were both romantic and sexual. He was in a situation where a chatbot was manipulating him.
Garcia is suing the company behind Character AI, alleging the company did not do enough to prevent Setzer from developing a relationship with a chatbot and did not adequately respond when Setzer began expressing thoughts of self-harm, according to the lawsuit. Character AI would not comment on the pending litigation, but say they have introduced new features, including self-harm resources and features focused on the safety of minor users.
We need to protect our kids and our teens and our families from the excesses of this new technology.
California Governor Gavin Newsom signed SB 243. Led by State Senator Steve Padilla, this legislation will require chatbot operators to implement safeguards around interactions with AI.
We have to rapidly rise to meet the challenge to not miss a window to provide reasonable safeguards.
Character AI says they will work with lawmakers as they develop legislation for this emerging space and will comply with laws including SB 24, adding that they will work with external experts focused on teenage online safety.
As the government shutdown enters day 20, some users of SNAP benefits may soon be without those benefits. Shalima Maharaj reports from Colorado.
Some days it's hard to just put a smile on my face and pretend everything's okay.
Because like bills, the worries keep piling up.
We could be working and still not making enough to pay our bills.
More than 600,000 people in Colorado rely on SNAP benefits, and state officials are warning those benefits could soon run out.
It seems like we all are fighting for a little bit of resources, and there's not enough to go around.
Bonnie Stevens used to rely on SNAP benefits to put food on the table for her and her children. Having enough to get by is still a struggle.
Am I going to be able to survive in this city with my income? I didn't get my cost of living increase this year.
She worries if the government shutdown extends into November, friends and family who still rely on the program will be at a loss.
There are over 614,000 Coloradans who receive SNAP benefits.
The Food Bank of the Rockies Chief Impact Officer Monica Bulig expects the impact to be significant.
If we see SNAP and that gap will widen.
Bulig says already they're seeing the highest levels of hunger in more than 10 years.
The sooner that they can come to a bipartisan resolution, the sooner people will be able to take a slight sigh of relief.
Bonnie Stevens hopes she can exhale soon. For now, she's saddled with a feeling of uncertainty.
There's going to be even more people flooding the food banks. It could be your neighbor, it could be your family member, it could be your coworker.
We're out of time, but for more Auburn news, head over to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, and check out our social media pages. I'm Jonny Koeninger.
And I'm Allison Thomas. Thank you for watching, and War Eagle.